Welcome to another Mickey's Roundtable adventure. Sometimes when you go on an adventure, getting there is all the fun, or so the movie poster said on the movie that I made. This adventure, I decided rather than going to any of the parks, I was going to explore all of Walt Disney World via the various methods and means of transportation. I did start out at a park. I headed over to Magic Kingdom first, parked at the Transportation and Ticket Center. Now I took the monorail over to Magic Kingdom. There's more than one option to get over there and more than one option to get back. Multiple options depending on where you want to go. You can take a launch from the front of Magic Kingdom there to one of the resorts and take a bus from there. I did not do that. You could walk over to one of the resorts, or either the Contemporary or over to the Polynesian and Grand Floridian. I opted to take the ferry boat directly across the lake over to the Transportation and Ticket Center, where I hopped on the monorail again and headed over to Epcot. One of the best parts about taking that monorail line from the Transportation and Ticket Center over to Epcot is you get to go through Epcot. And as I'm filming this right now, July 2023, there's still construction going on in that center core of Epcot, and you get to look in there, peek over the walls, and see what's coming soon to Epcot in the not too distant future. Epcot, like Magic Kingdom, has multiple transportation options. I took the monorail in, there's buses, and then also there's the Skyliner and the Friendship boats. But the problem with those, if you're coming from Magic Kingdom, is they're on the other side of the park. They're at the World Gateway entrance. I had a park hopper ticket and I had a reservation for Magic Kingdom in the morning, which I had used, but it wasn't quite 2 o'clock yet. So that left me the one option of taking a bus. So I headed over to the buses at the front of the park there and grabbed a bus over to Animal Kingdom. Now the buses at Animal Kingdom will drop you off right at the front of the park, like all of the parks, all 4 parks, Magic Kingdom, Epcot, Hollywood Studios, and Animal Kingdom. And there are buses from each one of the parks, Animal Kingdom and the others, directly to each one of the resorts. So if you're staying at one of the resorts, you will always, or should always, have that option of jumping on a bus and going directly to one of those 4 parks. Since my adventure was about transportation and not necessarily visiting any one of the specific parks or resorts, I didn't go into Animal Kingdom. It wasn't necessary to get to where I wanted to go. So I just hopped on another bus, headed over to Hollywood Studios. It's right next to the Skyliner station. I mentioned that earlier when I was talking about Epcot, as well as the Friendship boats. That's just down the way a little bit, all right near the entrance. You can take either one of those back over to Epcot. If you take the Friendship boat, you could go to one of the resorts along that way. Swan and Dolphin, Boardwalk, Yacht or Beach Club. There's also a walking path. I didn't do that this time either. I headed over to Caribbean Beach. That's the main hub for the Skyliner system. There's 3 lines total, one from Hollywood Studios over to Caribbean Beach. From there you change to one of the other 2 lines. There's one that heads south and that goes to 2 of the other resorts. That one's kind of cool just for fun. If you ever want to do that, you head down there and go out over the lake. You can go to the Art of Animation Resort or the Pop Century Resort. Those are fun to explore in and of themselves. I opted to head the other direction. It'll take you up and over the Caribbean Beach Resort, which is kind of neat, and then down, and there's a station right next to the Riviera Resort. From the Riviera Resort, the Skyliner then takes off and heads towards Epcot, to that World Showcase, World Gateway entrance into the park. Same place those boats will drop you off as well. From there, since it was now after 2 o'clock, I could make my way through the park. I decided to make my way through the park, the long way through World Showcase. Pleasant surprise, just right next to the American Experience Pavilion. They will do training for cast members that are working with the various characters and training for the characters themselves. And every once in a while, when you're walking by there, they'll be out there taking photos with guests. Last time I was there, I saw Geppetto. I had not gotten a photo of me with Geppetto yet, and I saw him and I walked over there and he was just leaving, but just before I got to him, and I didn't get one. But this time was different. I managed to get a photo with both Geppetto and one of the penguins from Mary Poppins. You don't see that every day. So that was kind of cool. Then from there, I was feeling hungry too, so I thought, well, let me grab some food. So I opted for the Lotus Blossom Cafe in the China Pavilion. Anyway, I enjoyed it. It's kind of like fast food, Chinese food. Wouldn't you know it, as I was heading back to the front of the park, I'm getting up towards Spaceship Earth, and it started to rain, as it usually does in Florida in the summer, in the afternoons. I didn't want to walk through the rain even just a little bit out to the monorail station. So I thought, you know what? I'll hop on an attraction. Spaceship Earth was right there, and the line was not very long. From there, I headed back to the front of Epcot, hopped on the monorail back to the Transportation and Ticket Center. My adventure for the day was done. There's a whole lot of different ways that you can do that type of adventure. Boats and monorail and the Skyliner and walking paths and buses. Buses will take you anywhere. For now, this adventure is over. And so until next time, I'm Roger, and this has been another Mickey's Roundtable Adventure.